So I've been very fortunate to have experience of working with DHM over a couple of different businesses. Firstly, when I was general manager of Georgian House, and obviously now as managing director of Rowledge Associates. I think the main thing really is it's always been easy to work with you. You know, it's quite difficult sometimes to find someone who can really deliver what you want, but it's also really easy to get there with. And I think, you know, we're all really busy people, so having someone who's you know, always there to help you genuinely and work towards what you want to achieve has probably been the you know, the best thing really about it. I think Georgian House, you know, the biggest problem that we had was, you know, the amount of money that we were spending on Booking.com and Expedia trying to get business into the hotel. You know, there was a huge proportion of our business, so really trying to drive that direct traffic. So, you know, the digital remarketing that we did, as well as the paid search through Google, but also through Bing, I think was quite something I was quite surprised at. So I think, you know, I would always make the assumption everything's about Google, but you know, one of the real key benefits I think from the partnership was learning about all of those things which just maybe hadn't have considered in terms of cost of acquisition. And then really for myself and Rowledge Associates, you know, starting a new business, you know, there's certain aspects of it which can be quite daunting, and having someone who, you know, I really trusted as an expert in what they were doing to be able to help me to build my website and also help me with my digital marketing. So I think one of the key things that really made me want to work with DHM for website design was you really showed me, you know, your depth of knowledge, and you could demonstrate to me where you were really going to add value to what I was trying to do. You know, I looked at a number of potential suppliers to build my website across a range of price spectrums, and you know, really found that this was the right solution for me, and you know, clearly demonstrated to me where you could really add value. You know, the quality of the websites that you'd already worked on really impressed me, and you know, the plans that you had to help me develop my website were shown to be a really early stage, so I could see already before I even made that kind of initial investment, you know, what it was going to look like. When I was looking to build a website for Rowledge Associates, I think it was quite a big decision for me, and certainly one that I'd never made before. So I think, you know, the support that was provided in helping me make that decision was great. And I think the only thing that really was a potential barrier for me was the cost, because obviously I was kind of pre-revenue, so it was, you know, every penny counts at that stage. I think one of the things that, although there were you know, certainly cheaper options available, and was that, you know, it certainly wasn't an expensive proposition, but although it was more money, the value that I got out of that investment has paid itself back many times over already. So you know, still allegedly buy cheap, buy twice, and I certainly feel that would have been the case. You know, and you know, I can see now, you know, compared to other websites that you know, I can see were made by some of those other suppliers I was potentially looking at, how I benefited from working with DHM. I think the thing that really helped me in terms of making the decision from the design process was really, you know, how it was all explained well to me. So, you know, I'm not an expert on websites by any means, and you know, I wanted to make sure that I understood what was happening so that I could make the best choices in terms of what I was trying to do. So, you know, the way that it was all explained and the way that it was kind of done in partnership, rather than it being a supplier and a client, it was very much done in partnership and worked through in a way that worked for me, not necessarily a prescriptive way that you know, the supplier, if you like, was trying to do it. I think the main thing that you know, has really impressed me about working with DHM has been the ongoing relationship. So it's not, you know, not been just a case of, you know, yeah, what website do you want? Give me your money, make the website, thank you very much, and off you go. You know, it's really been you know, kind of long-term sustained partnership, I think, and it's worked really well. I've really appreciated all of the advice and support that's been provided to me throughout that whole time. And you know, just any small query that I ever have, you know, is, you know, straight away resolved. You know, having a dedicated account manager looking after you know, my interests at the end of the day, and not just being there when I go to them, but also saying, you know, this is something that's happening, you know, are you interested in doing this, or you know, have you thought about doing this? You know, there's been a change in the way that we can do this, and you know, that sort of proactive approach, I think, has been really valuable. I think it would be difficult for me to say the main reason, just because there are so many. But clearly, I've been really, really happy with all of the services that DHM have provided for me. From digital marketing through to website build. Even the small things that you just don't want to have to worry about, like the hosting. It seems like a small thing, but just having that perfectly running smoothly all of the time. But again, I just sort of go back to the fact that it's been really, really great in terms of the value for money I've realised. The ongoing support has been fantastic, and just being able to have that person there to help a non-expert like me, really make the most out of my website capabilities and the sort of the ROI that I'm getting from my marketing. I think one of the things that I really noticed that sort of surprised me a bit was quite often when you work with a provider, as people naturally come and go within their business, the quality of the service that you receive as a client, can vary quite dramatically. But whilst occasionally people have left DHM who have worked with both at Georgian House and Rowledge Associates, there's always been a really good, consistent, high level of service, and that sort of smooth transition between different people working on the projects that I've been doing with them. So I think that's really impressive. I think the first thing I'd really say to anyone thinking about working with DHM is, if you haven't already talked to them, then definitely talk to them, because I think it will surprise you about the things that they will help you realise that they can help you with that you perhaps don't already know. It's like that idea of known knowns. But certainly, I'd recommend anyone talking to them if they want to achieve a really good ROI on what they're trying to achieve, both with their website or any other aspect of their digital marketing. And if they want someone to work with who is really there genuinely to help them and be a really good partner to work with, then that's something I definitely recommend DHM for.